I know that I have a lot of the same issues that he does in terms of inflammation and gut issues and bloating and some anxiety and depression, and it's complicated because I have concussions. I have a lot of inflammation. And so I just really relate to everything he says. I do know that eating that way would probably help me feel better.
Hi everybody, this is Gary, and I'm really excited about making this video because it's a rare opportunity for me to help someone who is open to receiving my help. He left a comment on one of my videos.
The digestible carbohydrates are broken down and they're absorbed in your small intestines and turned into energy or blood glucose. But the indigestible ones, because they're indigestible, they pass through your small intestines and they pass to your large intestines. And in your large intestines, they do something which is what not everyone knows about. They are broken down by your gut bacteria. And this is incredibly important. But that is the intestinal wall of the large intestines. It's only one cell thick, so nutrients can pass through and be absorbed. Let's picture these indigestible carbohydrates coming through the large intestines. The large intestines is full with bacteria, your gut flora. And this bacteria loves indigestible carbohydrate, which is indigestible to us, but for this bacteria, it loves it, it can ferment it and break it down, and it lives on this stuff. Without it, it will die. The bacteria will die off because that is its fuel source. And one of the products of this breaking down fermentation process by the bacteria is that it produces short-chain fatty acids, and these get absorbed into the body. And we now know that these short-chain fatty acids do a whole bunch of things inside the body which are really important. So what happens if we kill a load of our gut bacteria or throw it out of whack? We're going to get intestinal problems. The intestines won't be able to work properly. We're going to have problems with our immune system. And because of natural T killer cells in this equation as well, you will raise your risk of getting cancer. You raise your risk of getting osteoporosis, and the nervous system stuff can actually give you anxiety or depression. But what happens if we get rid of the indigestible carbohydrate or the fiber? Well, if we get rid of that, then what do the bacteria live off? Well, they will start to die. This entire system starts to break down. It no longer functions. New bacteria comes in and takes over, takes its place. It might be harmful bacteria. The correct gut flora that is suitable for us, for humans, that thrives on fiber from plants.
I recommend that you wait until after we see the results. And I don't mean wait until he finishes the 30-day experiment. Wait a few weeks longer so we see the results, if he healed or not, by him returning to regular food. And I think we will see that it didn't heal at all, that meat doesn't heal, and that he still has the problems, maybe different problems. Most of our body is actually bacteria. We live in a symbiotic relationship with it. So these carnivore diets will fail eventually, even though you feel good at first. Just like when you start eating healthy, you might feel bad, but that's not a bad thing. The carnivore diet is low in some vitamins, minerals, and has substances that just cause cancer. It's just not good for you. There is a better way, and you already did stumble upon it.
You think you're on an anti-candida diet, but you actually, it's appropriately named candida diet. You're causing candida if you're having it for more than days. It should never have it for years. It blooms, it eats the excess sugar, and then you get back into healthy living.
There is a better way, and it's a similar diet to the one I promote here on my channel. It's a diet high in fruit, the key food group, and low in fat. So I started this video before I did a search on your channel, Dr. Sweets. And so I just decided to search and see. And yes, you have tried the 80-10-10 diet. And I wasn't surprised by the results that you got. Let's see a clip right now of it and see if my audience is surprised by this.
Go buy some bananas, not boxes, but some bundles. And on October 22nd,
I was eating bananas and I started feeling really good again. I started feeling like all the inflammation was going away, the yeast was flushing out, I was having a lot of bowel movements, which was good. And all my concussion symptoms started going away, and I didn't feel like it was hard to walk and move, and I wasn't so sensitive to everything. And so I ate bananas like that whole day until the end when I had to eat. I ate potatoes, which made me feel worse again. The bananas didn't work at all for like 2 weeks, and I would need to eat like 30 bananas a day to get enough calories. The bananas didn't work at all for like 2 weeks, and they made me feel so bad because they were just feeding me yeast, and I was feeling worse, and I was so sensitive. I felt so drunk. My tongue was like snow white, like so white. It was.
Okay, but you did get some good results in the beginning, which tells you something. A number of things that you could adjust here. I noticed you mentioned 30 bananas. There's two problems there. No offense to Harley, of course. You shouldn't really need that many calories unless you are an endurance athlete, like Harley is. And you probably shouldn't be doing all that exercise anyway. So possibly you were eating too much and feeding the yeast too much. Another thing is, it sounds like you were mostly just eating bananas. Well, I wouldn't say that that's bad to do in the short term. That is a mono diet, and just eating a fruit diet is cleansing enough. Going mono fruit, that might be too much of a shock to your system. Too much cleansing at once, which would explain the white tongue. This is something that a lot of people out there, vegans, raw foodists, they don't understand this. In the initial period of a few days, when you improve your diet like this, you're going to feel really good. This is called the honeymoon phase, which means it doesn't last because you hit detox, healing crisis, and you don't feel good when you're doing that. As a matter of fact, what you're healing of feels very similar to the problem itself. Things are actually getting better. Now you can slow it down a little bit by not going so extreme, having multiple fruits, have a lettuce in there, something that requires more digestive work. And also, there's tongue brushing. You want to get rid of that stuff, brush it off, and put salt on your tongue, and then use a toothbrush. So Dr. Sweets, I want to tell you a little bit about my background. Been vegan 23 years. I got into raw foodism 10 years ago this year. The year before that, I was sort of getting into it. Then I backed down for a few months because I thought I had food poisoning. But now I don't think so. Anyway, I just know way too much about this stuff. And it's because I got addicted to watching every video on this. I don't have a real job. And I got the book. And also you mentioned something very important. You mentioned that because of your condition, concussion, you have fuzzy thinking and you can't think straight. So you need a coach. I don't have a real job. I could talk you through things like what you said about having to have bananas at a certain ripeness. I highly doubt that was the actual problem. It's more like you're going through phases of detox and healing. Yeah, when you start eating real better, you'll feel worse before you feel better. I've been through these many times. And I think I'm about done. Well, I haven't done a big cleanse in a while. And I don't eat 100% raw. I was just taking a look through the first few pages of this book. I found something pretty relevant here. Page 9, health and feeling good are not the same. Employment example. Suppose you work at a dreary office for too long, for too little pay, and endure daily verbal abuse from a tyrannical employer. If you quit that job and break free, would you now say that you have just the perfect job, the work of your dreams? Of course not. What you have is nothing. You don't have a job. True, you have newfound liberation, welcome relief, like me and Foot Soldier are saying, you have relief from your symptoms, but that doesn't mean you're achieving a healthy state. A lot of people, like a person who left a rude comment, they think they're healthy just because they're not experiencing symptoms. Thanks to everyone who helps to get this video out to more people.